What's poppin', y'all? We back at it. Today we got Sammy the Bull Gravano speaking on his time with the Flores twins. If you have yet to subscribe to the channel, please do. Hit the like button and notification bell so we can keep this channel moving forward. Let's get it.
Hey Sammy, you did time with Flores twins and played chess together. I found out while listening to their podcast, Surviving El Chapo. Love from Boston.
I did time with both of the twins who testified against Chapo. They were twins when they first came in. I'll never forget it. I was sitting in the kitchen at
They were always twins, bro.
a table, eating with a few guys, and they told us, because there was a lot of law enforcement, they tightened the whole place. They treated them like they were, heavyweights, and they said they were twins. So I was sitting down eating, and they got online, and their turn came to come up, and I saw them. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, boy. You could not tell the fucking difference. Now, I got to know them, and I got friendly with them. One of them had a tattoo on his neck. I don't think it was P, it was the other one. When I was talking with him, I used to pull his shirt, and I knew which one it was by looking at his tattoo. That's how similar they were. Then they were there for a while, and then they split them up. The one I got along with better, he was sent somewhere else. The one I didn't get along with that good was in the place I was in.
All right. Which one he had beef with? Huh? He messed with one, he don't mess with the other. That sounds like some Sammy the bullshit to say. We also took a little shot at the beginning like there was some kind of heavyweights or something. It's crazy. Another thing we discussed today during the live Surviving El Chapo stream was, why haven't, Sinaloa come after this person, that person? Why ain't nobody come at Sammy yet? Sammy came out of jail, got popped for the ecstasy, went back, all this. He's living his life right now. He don't hide his face. He don't do none of that.
I got into a couple of beefs with him.
I wonder which one it is, though, J or P.
And then in the joint, he was like literally almost running the joint. He was, he had all kinds of money, even in prison with commissary, doing all kinds of shit. I'll never forget, my niece came on a visit. I went on a visit.
He said he was almost running the joint because, he had money.
I went on a visit with my niece, and he was there with his wife. She had a fucking rock on her finger, diamond fucking earrings. I don't even know how the president let her in like that. So my niece said, "Look, Uncle Sam, look at that girl's ring." I said, I know. They have a lot of money. And she says, I like to jump over and bite it off. My family's like little gangsters, even the girls. So I said, no, shut up. I know him. He's a friend of mine. And I talked to him when he came in. She came in with a Bentley, I think. And everybody's looking.
Bentley, I'm going to say it's Pete's wife. I'm going to say that's Viv. Just because of the 3 Bs. That's what I'm going to call it. Y'all was trying to bite fingers off of rings, huh?
Everybody, you're flashy. She was a good-looking girl. And I told him, bro, you can't make your wife come in like that. You're sitting down with all crooks and gangsters and shit. They're looking at that.
Don't it sound like the conversation when whoever it was that ended up in Jay's cell, I believe it was Jay's cell, he was from another cartel, and he was like, yo, you got your family's picture up, take your picture down, and he was like, they're gonna look anyway. Sounds like the same kind of conversation.
Lo and behold, a Puerto Rican guy got in touch with his brother, told him to come in, told him what kind of car she had, what she looked like, everything. Matter of fact, the brother saw her on a visit too. So what they were gonna do is when she pulled out, they would follow her, crash into her like an accident, right? A little bit. Get out like they're gonna show it, and then rob her, take the rings, take her jewelry, take her money, take everything. They got caught in this plot. It didn't happen.
How you get caught in the plot, bruh? Big old giant plan and you get caught in the plot? How you do that?
They got caught in this plot. It didn't happen. Thank God. But I told them, I said, see, you got to come in here. Let her go rent a fucking Volkswagen or something, a beat-up one, an old one, to come in. Don't flash in here, you know. And one time I was with my daughter. My daughter, I hope she's listening to this. She was on a visit with me, and he owed me some money. And I made him tell his wife to bring down $800. It was for artwork, and bring down $800.
All this money in commissary he's talking about dude had and how he was running the joint. Why he owing you money?
It was for artwork, and bring down $800 and give it to my daughter when they leave the visit. So I told my daughter, who wanted to leave early, I said, no, you can't leave early. When the visit's over, you go in the parking lot. I forgot her name. She's going to come. She's going to give you an envelope. It's money for me. That they owe me. So stay here until you can collect that. She says, okay, Dad. She stayed. So he's asking her, they're not that far from us, and he's asking her, did you bring the money? Oh, no, I forgot. And I'm saying, you forgot. I made my daughter stay a lot longer than she wanted to stay, and I'm steaming a little bit. And then she turns around, she tells him, why do you have to give these peasants money? My daughter heard peasants. She said, is this God talking about me? Peasants, I'll break her face. I grabbed her by her arm. My daughter's a tiger.
That sounds like some bullshit to me. Seems a little out of character. You ain't never heard nothing like that. Ain't nobody. They like to spend money. We heard that. But not one person, not Charlie Webster, not 50, not in any of these interviews and any of these Wrong the Strongs. And at no point have we heard that they were elitist like that, like calling people peasants. That sounds like a Sammy the Bull story right there. That's funny, man.
I grabbed her by her arm. My daughter's a tiger. I said, sit the down.
Come on.
We're in a visiting room with guards and everything. You hit this girl. I'm going to hit him. There'll be a revolution in this room. You'll never come back on a visit, and I'm going to be in the hole. Stop it. So what? Whatever she called us, don't worry about it. She's a jerk off. And my daughter sat down, but she was biting on her lip. She was growling. She wanted to get at this woman. Then I told him on the inside, I said, bro, I tell your wife, bro, I'm no fucking peasant. My daughter's not a peasant. We're not peasants. You're a fucking peasant. You just got money because you're a drug dealer. But to me, you're a fucking peasant. You and your fucking scumbag wife.
But why you got money, though? How you get money? Extortion, murder? The criminal ego, the criminal hierarchy. It's a character thing, you know what I'm saying? Shit, police got it, gangsters. But the ego's a crazy thing. But that sounds like he didn't like one of them dudes. Sounds like he always had some slick shit to say. And I ain't never heard neither one of the wives, not even Val, who's been in the middle of all kind of shit, have I heard one time anybody say she was on some elitist shit. Like, she knew what she was, but she wasn't going to tell you what you were, that I've heard of so far, you know what I'm saying? So I'm calling bullshit. That sounds like some, I need a story to tell, and this guy anyway.
All you's got is money because of drugs, but you's a peasant, bro. And that argument stopped, so I did time with them. I'm very friendly with the other one, not the guy P, the other one. And even P, I mean, he set me up for a fall to get moved. I did 8 months in the hole because of him.
See, there's underlying beefs right there, you know what I'm saying? Overlying, underlying, all of the above. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt. Everything they say, everything he says, everything everybody fucking says, man.
Phony fall. They said that I was in touch with Chapo, and I reached out to people to kill him, his brother, their wives, and their children. And the government came down on me like a fucking hammer. I was 8 months in the fucking hole. And finally, some of them admitted that it was a fucking fake. Because as soon as he made that fake, they locked me down and they moved him to where he wanted to go, which was closer to his wife. That's all it was about.
So all they needed was the allegation?
That's all they needed. Matter of
and then they took it back and said it was a lie and there was no consequence. They didn't move him back to where he was supposed to be. That don't sound right either.
Matter of fact, my lawyer got in touch with my lawyer. They had a prosecutor from, they come from Chicago. From Chicago, they had the interior investigative team was there. DEA was there at the meeting with me and my lawyer. And we had this meeting. And I'll tell you, the head of the prison security.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying there's something missing from the equation that he's leaving out. Because how they pull a move on you, get you put in a hole for 8 months, get put in the ideal situation for themselves, and then say, nah, it wasn't true, that didn't really happen, and then not have their nice situation that they just manipulated get retracted. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it.
The head of the prison security, he got a turn to talk, and he said, I investigated this, and it looks like Sammy and him had an argument, and this whole fucking thing is bullshit. And he's never reached out to Chapo. He doesn't know him. There's no communication between him and Chapo. They don't even know each other. This is bullshit. The DEA agent said to the Chicago prosecutor who was handling them, I'm embarrassed to be here, Sammy. I've investigated it as well. I mean, I'm actually embarrassed to be here. And then he shut her up. All right. And then he told my lawyer, listen, we're not going to press charges against you. We're not going to indict you. But if they get hurt, you'll see us again. I said, listen, I would like you to suck my dick on your way out. How about that? I don't give a fuck about your threats. Don't threaten me. You heard from the people who investigated, your own investigators. I told you that nothing happened. It was a bullshit argument. And he used that to move him. He fucking played you.
Definitely.
And you want to threaten me?
If he did that and got to keep his position that he wanted to be in, they played you. They pulled some of that slick shit that Cartel Charlie Webster was talking about. That high IQ shit.
You want to threaten me? Go f*** yourself. I'm in the whole 8 months for nothing. And he left. And a week after that, the warden came in, grabbed the unit manager, said, get him out of the fucking hole and put him back in the unit. The unit manager said, well, one of the guys who verified that it was a witness against Sammy is still in the unit. So I interrupted right away. I said, warden, that don't bother me. I'm not going to do nothing to him. But if he's afraid, move him. Why am I going to stay in the hole because of him?
Right.
I won't hurt him. But I'm not staying in the fucking hole. I did nothing. Now I'm going to stay in the hole. This guy wants me to stay in the hole because there's a threat to him. Then move him. If he's afraid of me, let him move him. The warden turned around to the unit manager and says, go talk to the guy. If he wants to be moved, move him. And get him out of the fucking hole. And that's what happened. The guy reached out to me. I don't want to say his name. I'm in touch with him now, believe it or not. And when I got out, he came over to me right away, apologized. He said, you know, Pete, the kid there, gave him some money, and he verified that I was threatening that I would kill. I knew Chapo. And
so his allegation is that Pete put a bag on him one way or the other.
he was lying. He then admitted to the prison that he was lying. So I said, all right, you did what you had to do, and you got money. Me and you, it's completely over. There's no beefs, there's no problems, and you can leave or you can stay here. I don't give a f***. I'm just happy to get the fuck out of the hole, get back in population, play a little ball, see the fucking sun a little bit. So you could stay or you can leave. You do what you want, but there's no threat from me. I won't hurt you. And yeah, I did time with them.
All right, there it is. Sammy the Bull and the Flores twins. Sammy got a story to tell, peasant stories. And stories of beefs and 8 months in the hole. Quite possible it happened. Quite possible that the twins played all the different law enforcement agencies into getting a desired position somewhere. Could have ended worse, I guess. You got to take everything with a grain of salt. The only people that really know the truth is in here in those people's heads, and that's it. But an interesting little anecdote from Sammy the Bull. It's funny. I don't know if I'm buying the whole peasant story though. That again, you gotta take things with a grain of salt. I'm pretty sure that ain't the last we've heard of Sammy the Bull in this story anyway.